Yo, what is going on, everybody? Caveman Jack back for another reaction/review, and we are back live from the studio. Yo. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic week. Now, this is one that I'm actually really excited for. Lobo, Lil Yachty. I forgot I had this shirt. This is like one of my first rap concerts I went to. I can remember. Lil Yachty, Lil Boat, hit the scene pretty hard with his mixtape Lil Boat. One Night, that is it. One Night was the song that blew Lil Yachty up, I think. He also had Minnesota. That's like, they're very interesting songs, and he's got a really unique tone. And sometimes it hits for me, sometimes it didn't. But one thing I can say for sure about Lil Yachty is that he's himself. He's proud to be himself, and he makes music that he enjoys to make. This new album, Let's Start Here. This is going to be really interesting because I don't believe it's strictly hip hop. I don't even think it's really loosely based around hip hop. I've always enjoyed when Lil Yachty goes into varying different styles. I think his voice is so unique and different that he can try these different styles of music. Now, I can't say that I've listened to a lot of Lil Yachty since I checked out his early mixtapes. Some songs that, recognizable. There's a song that he released on his debut album called Bring It Back, which is this really like 80s prom song. It feels like an 80s prom song, but it's just a feel-good song. It's a guilty pleasure song. I love putting it on. And yeah, this shirt, man, I remember like just a little bit of a story time. I remember seeing Lil Yachty, one of the first rappers I ever went and saw. And I remember the show. It was like such a small gig, but the mosh pit was so intense. Like, I remember just like being like, oh my gosh, what the heck is going on? And then Lil Yachty came out with like a life-sized Kermit the Frog like puppet. And I was like, what the heck is happening? And it was like rocking out on stage with this Kermit the Frog Muppet thing. And I was like, this is so trippy. But yeah, pretty good memories. He helps produce a lot of music now. He collaborates with a lot of people. And I'm really excited to hear which direction this album goes. I actually have quite high hopes for it. I actually think it's going to be something different. It's like I can really get excited about Lil Yachty verse. I don't think I ever released this reaction on the channel, but back when I reacted to Nectar, Joji's second album, there's a song called Pretty Boy on it, and Lil Yachty's on it, and I lost it when I heard Lil Yachty, so I might put a clip of that now.
Handsome young man, never pull up on time. Looking in a mirror, looking good should be a crime. If I don't lead, where will they go? They follow my every move.
Let's go. This is Let's Start Here by Lil Yachty. Lobo! It almost goes for 7 minutes. Okay. Just Lil Yachty.
Sex symbol, a black seminole.
Okay. Alright.
A sex symbol, a black seminole. What's wrong? What's wrong with the man? Your eyes are low, and you're walking with both hands on your head. His response, he's on a clean high. Both feet up on the ground, but his head's way in the sky.
Oh.
No time to joke around.
Oh.
The kid is now a man, and the silence is filled with remarkable sound. This part I've seen in my dreams. Love is not a lie. It just feels like a Tarantino movie scene.
Yo, Yachty, bro. Let's go. What the heck? Hey, whoa. Hey. I really feel like he has a rich bag. And this first song, I mean, how many people expected to hear this? Like, who expected this? Man. You know, like these guitar riffs, it's real kind of psychedelic. That psychedelic rock feel to it. People expect you to rap. You drop this. You drop a 7-minute song to start your album. Like, wow, guys. Love Vault. This is gonna be special. This is gonna be special. This is Lil Yachty, man. Lil Yachty. Wow. Yo, let's go. Yes, Lil Yachty, man. Lil Yachty. Sheesh, bro. What? Bro, Lil Yachty, man. You guys might not believe me, but I just had this really special feeling about this album. I really did. I don't know. I really felt like I just had this instinct that I thought this was going to be special. And to be fair, we've only heard the first song, but what a first song. What an intro to this album. I mean, that gets me excited to listen. I really am excited to check out the rest of this project. I think Lil Yachty, as I talked about a little earlier, he's got such a rich bag, and people probably just know him for the mumble rap, that, you know, category that he can kind of be placed in. But I think he's got like just this rich tone, and I think it's interesting when he sings with it. I really like Lil Yachty singing. I've just always kind of vibed with the sound, the quirkiness to it. Most of the time I was just shaking my head in awe, because I was like, you're not expecting this from this artist. And I think that's what's so great when artists dive into a bag that they haven't really gone into too much. Hey. Yo! Yes! Yeah. Whoa. Sounds a bit like Steve Lacy.
Baby, push it open for me, don't be shy. When I'm alone, my thoughts, I'm terrified.
I'm loving the Sims in this album. Let's go, love them.
A quick zoom to the moon, come on around. Feel my boy, feel my boy.
Yeah.
Feeling D, writing on E, a shopping spree may fill the V, V as in void, speaking of void, I may avoid all of my boys, that doesn't work, it's unemployed, now I'm annoyed.
So
Making eye
stoked.
contact is suicide.
I'm stoked, man. This music's great. I love this music. I love this music. Look, I don't really have many words to explain this right now, but this feeling that I've got inside is pure joy. Like, I'm feeling this music. I hear albums like this, and it just reminds me just how much I enjoy listening to projects. Like, I enjoy listening to the sequential, and I love hearing artists evolve. From a sonic perspective, his voice is just so well suited to those psychedelic synths. It's just so airy, and it floats through the mix so well. There's a couple of, I think, features on that song. I'm not sure who they were.
Watch it, girl. Don't ever tell me lies.
Damn, Yachty.
And I can find the ocean. Come and see about me. If I told you all of my secrets, baby girl, would you look in my eyes and feel to see?
Man, it's got those singing chops on this album, Yachty. Running out of time. Interesting song. A little bit more funky, a little bit more groovy. We had that bass line that was running throughout. It was just really controlling that song. By the end of it, it was a little bit like, all right, is it kind of a little bit too repetitive? It might have been. It's a song that I reckon I could easily put on in the background and just vibe to. I did like the songs preceding it a bit more, but this was a nice new dive into a different sound. Really happy for Yachty. I'm really happy that he's been able to make an album like this, because it's just, you can feel the passion in it.
Come bust this pussy open.
Oh, he's getting in his romance bag here. It's like a Yachty yodel.
Sunset City, go to Sunset City. Walk up on the right side, I feel so pretty.
Sheesh. I can't get over that yodel, man.
I feel so pretty.
Song.
You've always been my favorite. You've always told me to enjoy my seconds in earth with tea.
Man, pretty. What a trippy song. I loved it. I loved the energy on that song. Super empowering, like walk around like, I'm so pretty. I feel sexy, like that. I like that energy. It just sounds like he's having a lot of fun on this album. I'm liking the psychedelic beats we're getting. That song in particular had more of a, he kind of flowed a little. Yachty flowed a little bit on it. It was quite subtle, but I'm just having a lot of fun with this album. I can't lie. It's been awesome.
I've seen failure a few times. More recently than before, actually. Some people can't feel what they haven't seen. So, there's no point in me trying to explain my troubles. It's not that I don't think anyone cares, but I think, it's up to me to fix or deal with them, I kind of look at everything like, well, no matter what, it could be worse, okay, say if I lost a finger, I'd be like, well, I still have 9. Or failure to me isn't always a negative thing, but more so just a way to relook at things. You never know how close you are to success.
Bro, what the? That's goosebumps, man. Lil Yachty just speaking facts. What a power, that was really powerful. I don't know how that would land for everyone, but damn, man, I really felt that. I really, really felt that. And the instrumental in the back was awesome. I liked the kind of balance there of seriousness versus lightheartedness on that. I don't know. It's really hard to balance the two, and I think he was able to share something quite deep and personal to him. Yeah, perspective that Yachty put on that song, and just be able to take a step back and realize that we're all human, and we're all dealing with our own stresses and insecurities in different ways. And I think being able to take a step back and look at it and being self-aware as well as you can is super important. Dealing with failure and stresses that may come with putting yourself out there to do certain things out of a fear of failure or out of a fear of not succeeding is a very true statement that I think everyone in some capacity has felt in their life. You know, I don't really think I was expecting Yachty to just come on a track and start speaking about his own view on failure, but it's so refreshing when artists do this. It's refreshing when a lot of people are able to open up and be themselves. Went a little bit of a rant about that song, but that really was special, and I had goosebumps, and I actually really, really respect and appreciate Yachty for putting that song on the album. It might actually be my favorite part of this album so far. What a awesome moment and an awesome thing to share. Hey.
I'm so far gone. Can you take me back home?
I did not think I would ever get emotional selling the Yachty album, man. I really didn't. Far out. What the hell? I don't know, the use of the instrumentation, the melodies, you know, lyrics, the whole song, the story, it's beautiful. The song started and I was a little kind of like, is it going to get any deeper? And I'm so stoked that we just dived into different sections. The song just evolved. And it was actually quite an awesome piece. And yeah, this the end there where you could kind of hear the heavy synths come in. They were quite moody, they were quite emotive. And then you had like the little Yachty ad libs in the background. And I've always really enjoyed Yachty's. I've always preferred his singing and his more melodic sound over his rapping personally. And so just hearing this album, I'll keep going back to it, but just such a joy. some beautiful sims, man. They're just so subtle in the back right now. Really expansive tracks. It's just. Let's go! Music's so damn good, man. I'll tell ya. Hey, bit of up tempo on this new song now.
Imagine life without me. It's so waste of time. You want the kind of love that can make a child. Don't just anybody. Good love, fill my body up like a glass when you pour it all out. If you know me, you know I mind. Someone like me is hard to find. Don't miss me where you are. I just can't walk away. You drive me crazy. I lose it.
Dang.
I wanna be where you are. I just can't walk away. You drive me crazy. I lose it.
Nice harmonies.
Imagine me
Ooh, Yachty. Okay.
circling through life without a piece of you.
Ooh.
7 out of 7 days I'm needing you.
Hey.
You're always gonna be mine.
It's a nice song. It's really lovely. It's really uplifting, happy. You know? Man, bunch of these sims though sound very Tame Impala-esque. Like this one in particular.
Rarely ever missing, talk is cheap and time is ticking.
Okay.
Rarely ever tricking, catch me slipping, that pussy was leaking.
Hey.
All my missions, paying millions, I'm Teddy Beyonce. I love my mother, my sister, my daughter. All these hoes get slaughtered, can't mind, pray to Holy Father.
Wow. Another cool song with a lot of different elements. That was probably the first time we heard like Yachty like rapping on this album. It was still like that slow kind of melodic rapping. It was cool. It was a nice flow. An apocalypse at a 60s diner.
I did way too much drugs, I've been swelling and spinning.
Hey, let's go.
I did way too much drugs, I've been swelling and spinning. Shoot the fireplace, girl, I'm almost home. Almost there. I found my time. Bad decisions with the chrome in my hand. I've been tempted to complain, but see, I just think it should be more like me. Now you miss the thought of you and me. Officially lost
Save your tears for when you get old. These niggas out there ain't in the story you wrote. But I be gone before you wake. Old memories, when they start to fade. You always get a prayer from me back home. Always give love even when you're dead wrong.
That song there was just like, it came in with the harder kind of rockier sound. Still psychedelic. We're going more for this harder psychedelic rock on this song. And then, you know, like the intro was long and then Yachty came in and he just had like this awesome energy. Yachty never doesn't have good energy on his songs. He always just gives 100%. That's one thing I also have noticed throughout his discography. That girl came in. I'm not too sure who she was, but she was phenomenal when they broke the song down completely, really, really seamlessly. And then the end there, it's quite chaotic, it's intense, and then we end with that sad, somber synths. But then you've also got like what sounds like Yachty, like running through the snow or running somewhere. I think there's a lot of layers to this album, and you dive into the lyrics. I think he's been quite vulnerable on this album, and you can feel it. I don't know. I'm loving it. I'm loving this album. I love Tame Impala. I love that sound, and he's adopted that sound in a lot of ways. Tried to mix it with his own kind of style, and I think it's working quite well on this project.
It's on. Lately you've been like the bullet stuck inside my gun. The restaurant's about to close, conversation carries on. And we're gonna drain like water. Got me feeling like a teen again. Spinning like it's teenage love. I've been trying hard not to make scenes. I just got so much passion for you. You've been sending mixed signals to me. I've been steady moving close to you. Say something.
Nice transition, man. Nice.
I need your love. I need your love.
Damn, he was in his feels on that song, Yachty. I liked how the instruments evolved on that one. I liked how the darker synth came in to kind of keep the song moving, so it didn't feel stagnant. I like the chorus. I thought it was catchy. If you love me, then say some. I thought that was a catchy chorus. And then the outro was, interesting as well. Like, his transitions have been really, really good. And I feel as though the transitions between the songs would also be quite effective. When I go back to listen to this album, I think it's going to flow quite well. I think each song still feels like an extension of each other. It still feels cohesive in a way that allows the album to feel like a story or progressing, while also they still feel unique enough that I can still differentiate each song so far, which is handy. I think with some other Yachty projects, I've struggled to separate some songs because they've felt very similar in sound. Alrighty. I've always got that. It's back, very romantic. I'll paint the sky for you.
So surreal. The vibes I feel. It must go on. Of you. Feeling, falling, crawling. I'm stalling for your love. You got me drinking, smoking. I might overdose on your love.
Hey, lover.
I need you. Emotionally scarred, I cannot feel.
Damn, man.
You get me high. You get me high. High enough to paint the sky for you. Every time it's you and I feel fine. I would die for you.
You got me drinking, smoking, I might overdose on your love. He's found a really great way of drawing his audience in, the listeners in. I'm listening to these songs and they're catchy, they're melodic, they're emotive. You feel it. I can feel like the passion in his voice and the emotion through the music. The music is matching his tone really well. He's just been really vulnerable on this album, and I think like when people talk about love and the feelings that come with love, they're quite airy and they're floaty, and you feel like all these different places and these different feelings and these fears and these insecurities. But ultimately, that is love. Like it's so many different things happening at once. The waviness of the synths and the kind of floatiness of the sound kind of matches what the feeling of love or being on that high of love can feel like. And ultimately, on the other side of that coin is we're seeing points in this album where it's a little bit more dark or somber, and I think that can be another element of love or uncertainty or insecurity surrounding yourself or your partner. And I think Lil Yachty kind of goes into that a little bit on this album, and I think that's why the tone matches the music so well. Okay. Yeah, that song wasn't my favorite on the album. I like the instrumental on it. Lyrics didn't really connect with it. I think it might have been a little bit too repetitive in the chorus. Starting to get quite chaotic, these last couple of songs.
No need to brag, but I know that I was built for this. I know now that most men would kill for this. Seamlessly, I walk around infamous. Probably 'cause I am the alchemist. Sucker.
Feels good. Don't mean no harm, this force is in it goes. My taxes ain't on time.
Bitch, we go super crazy for the back end. He know now that I give a backhand. Back out, both catch a spray tan. Hey man, out the drugs in the deep end. Hey, pink seats in a fish tank.
Up on a cloud. My feet don't touch the ground.
Dang, that's pretty. That is pretty. Man, it's a beautiful outro. I reckon I'm just going to play it out to this final track. Let's go. Reach the sunshine. Hey.
Staring in the mirror and what do I see? A three-eyed man staring back at me.
Hey, that sounds familiar, man.
Two for the flesh and one for the soul.
Hey, tell me that's Danny Caesar. Tell me that's Daniel Caesar right now.
I'm going, trying to feel that.
That's Daniel Caesar. I'm telling you right now. That's Daniel Caesar, bro. Yeah.
Feel my touch. Yeah. Dividing time, living between the lines. Only one goal, to reach the sunshine.
Come on.
Dance with my demons. Look on the dance where they're scheming. At first I didn't believe it. Why shouldn't I? I'm a bad man. I'm bad. I'm a bad man.
Wow. I'm so stoked with this album. Damn. I can't. Love it. Man, Lil Yachty, what an album, man! What an unreal album. Let's start here. I don't even know where to start with that album. Felt like there was a buzz around this album that was there's something going to be really unique and special about this project, and that was the Yachty album I've been waiting for. Like I've been waiting for that album. I've really hoped he'd get into this kind of sound, and he has, and it's just phenomenal. It's such a well constructed album. It feels imperfect. There's a bit of chaos involved in it as well. It's clear to me that everyone that collaborated on this project put in 100% and gave an A+ effort here, because the whole album feels like passion. It feels emotive. It feels free in sound, and that's what I think a lot of people like to celebrate about Yachty is his freedom in his sound and his celebration of who he is. And I think that's unreal. I'm so stoked this album has come out, and I've seen a lot of people talking about it. I haven't listened to any of it or kind of read into it too much, but a lot of people talking about it. A lot of people putting screenshots on their stories. Very psychedelic rock, quite trippy in sound. A lot of emotions flying, love, insecurities. It wrestled with a lot of insecurities within relationships and within himself. Yachty really speaks quite candidly and free on this album. It's 14 tracks, long, 57 minutes. Is it too long? I don't think so. I think this album is quite special, and I think it will age quite well as well. I know it's very early, but I think this album has, for me, this is his best work by far. And Yachty has really delivered on this project. And yeah, as I've said a lot, you can feel the passion on this one. Yeah, a really pleasant surprise, an awesome start to the year. Very, very happy for Yachty and the love he's getting on this project. Let me know what you guys thought. If you listen to some of Yachty's other stuff, it's very different to this in a lot of ways. So, this is unique. This is unique for him. But I did always feel like he had an album like this in him. So this was Let's Start Here by Lil Yachty. Take care, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Cheers.
You got me drinking, smoking.